The small town of Willow Creek, nestled deep within the forests of Vermont, was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone. It was quiet, peaceful, and untouched by the chaos of the modern world. But beneath its idyllic surface, something sinister was brewing, something that would soon unravel the lives of its residents in the most horrifying way. Dr. Elias Grayson was a man of refined tastes. A renowned psychiatrist and culinary enthusiast, he had moved to Willow Creek a year ago, seeking solace from the fast-paced life of New York City. His charming demeanor and impeccable manners quickly made him a beloved figure in the community. He hosted dinner parties that were the talk of the town, where he served exquisite dishes that left his guests in awe. But there was something unsettling about Dr. Grayson, something that no one could quite put their finger on. The first to disappear was Sarah Mitchell, a young waitress at the local diner. She had been last seen leaving work late one evening, her cheerful demeanor masking the exhaustion of a long shift. When she didn't show up the next day, her co-workers assumed she had simply taken a day off. But as the days turned into weeks, the town began to worry. Search parties were organized, flyers were posted, but there was no trace of Sarah. Then another disappearance. This time it was Tom Reynolds, a handyman known for his friendly smile and willingness to help anyone in need. Like Sarah, he vanished without a trace. The town was on edge, and whispers of a serial kidnapper began to circulate. But with no evidence and no leads, the police were at a loss. It wasn't until the third disappearance that the pieces began to fall into place. Emily Carter, a high school teacher and avid hiker, had gone missing during one of her weekend treks. Her backpack was found near a trail, but there was no sign of her. What caught the attention of the investigators, however, was a peculiar detail: a small, neatly wrapped package left beside the backpack. Inside was a piece of meat, perfectly cooked and seasoned, accompanied by a handwritten note that read, "A taste of perfection." The discovery sent shockwaves through the town. The police quickly realized that they were dealing with something far more sinister than a simple kidnapping. The meat was sent to a lab for analysis, and the results were horrifying. It was human flesh. As the investigation deepened, suspicion began to fall on Dr. Grayson. His lavish dinner parties, his obsession with gourmet cuisine, and his mysterious past all pointed to a man who was not what he seemed. But without concrete evidence, the police could do little more than keep a close eye on him. Meanwhile, Dr. Grayson continued to live his life as if nothing was amiss. He attended town meetings, volunteered at the local clinic, and even offered his assistance to the families of the missing. But behind closed doors, he was a different man. His basement, a place he had always kept off limits to visitors, was a macabre laboratory where he conducted his gruesome experiments. The walls were lined with tools of his trade: knives, cleavers, and an array of spices and herbs. In the center of the room stood a large, stainless steel table, stained with the blood of his victims. Dr. Grayson's obsession with perfection had driven him to the edge of madness. He believed that the human body held the key to culinary excellence, and he was willing to do whatever it took to unlock its secrets. Each victim was carefully selected, their flesh meticulously prepared, and served to unsuspecting guests at his dinner parties. To him, it was the ultimate expression of his art. But as the body count rose, so did the town's suspicion. The police, now convinced of Dr. Grayson's guilt, obtained a warrant to search his property. What they found was beyond their worst nightmares. The basement was a charnel house filled with the remains of his victims. The air was thick with the scent of blood and decay, and the walls seemed to echo with the screams of the dead. Dr. Grayson was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. The trial was a media sensation, with the nation watching in horror as the details of his crimes were revealed. But even as he was led away in handcuffs, there was a sense that justice had not been fully served. The families of the victims were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, and the town of Willow Creek would never be the same. In the end, Dr. Grayson was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But for the residents of Willow Creek, the nightmare was far from over. The memory of his crimes lingered like a dark cloud, a reminder of the evil that had once walked among them. As the years passed, the town slowly began to heal. The diner where Sarah had worked was renovated, and a memorial was erected in honor of the victims. But there were some who could never forget. Every now and then, on a quiet night, the faint scent of spices and herbs would waft through the air, a chilling reminder of the gourmet who had once turned their peaceful town into a living nightmare. And so, the story of Dr. Elias Grayson became a cautionary tale, a reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. But it also served as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of a community to come together in the face of unimaginable horror. As we conclude this tale, let us remember the importance of vigilance and the need to protect our communities from those who would do us harm. Let us honor the memory of the victims by striving to create a world where such horrors can never take root. And let us never forget that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of darkness. If you found this story compelling, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more tales of mystery and suspense. Until next time, stay safe and may your nights be free from nightmares.